Tom Sanders is a senior executive at a cutting-edge technology corporation on the verge of releasing an innovative new product. Sanders' boss, Bob Galvin, is putting the final touches on a potentially lucrative merger, and everything is in order for Tom until his ex-girlfriend, Meredith Johnson, swoops in, stealing his impending promotion and then suing him for sexual harassment. Today we are going to talk about a 1994 American thriller film, Disclosure. Bob Galvin, a technology company founder, plans to retire when his company, Digicom, merges with a larger company. Production line manager Tom Sanders expects to be promoted to run the CD-ROM division. Instead, Meredith Johnson, a former girlfriend of Tom's who is responsible for the merger, is promoted to the post, as Galvin wanted to break the glass ceiling and promote a woman in place of his late daughter. Meredith calls Tom into her office to discuss some operations regarding problems with the CD-ROM production line in Malaysia, but instead sexually forces herself into him. He initially reciprocates her desire to engage him in oral sex, but rebuffs attempts to have full sexual intercourse. Meredith angrily screams a threat towards Tom for spurning her. Later that night, Meredith tricks Tom into arriving late the next morning, allowing her to take his place in a meeting with the merger partners to discuss the problems with the CD-ROM drives, where Meredith pressures Tom into admitting that he is unaware of the cause of the problems. Tom then discovers that Meredith has filed a sexual harassment complaint against him with legal counsel Philip Blackburn. To save the merger from a scandal, Digicom officials demand that Tom accept reassignment to another location. Otherwise, he will lose his stock options in the new company. His career will be ruined and he will be jobless if he takes the outplacement, as the other location is scheduled for sale after the merger. Tom receives an anonymous email from a friend that directs him to Seattle attorney Catherine Alvarez, who specializes in sexual harassment cases. Tom decides to sue Digicom, alleging that it was Meredith who harassed him, at the expense of causing animosity with his wife and colleagues. The initial mediation goes badly for Tom as a tearful Meredith repeatedly lies and blames him. Galvin, who believes the merger will be unsuccessful without Meredith, proposes that if Tom drops the lawsuit, he will not have to transfer, causing Tom to suspect that Meredith's accusations are vulnerable. Tom remembers dialing a number on his cell phone during the encounter with Meredith but not hanging up. This inadvertently left the recording of the incident on a colleague's voicemail. Tom plays the recording at the next meeting and discredits Meredith that her accusation is false. Digicom agrees to a settlement calling for Meredith to quietly be eased out following the merger. As Tom celebrates his apparent victory, he receives another email from a friend warning that all is not what it seems. Tom overhears Philip telling Meredith that even though Tom won the sexual harassment suit, they will make Tom look incompetent at the next morning's merger conference, with Galvin's support. Since the problems with the CD-ROMs are shown as coming from the Malaysian production line, which is under Tom's responsibility, he can be fired as the cause of these problems. Tom attempts to look for clues in the company database, but his access privileges have been revoked. He remembers that the merging company's executives have a virtual reality demonstration machine in a nearby hotel that has access to the company database. As he gets into Digicom's files, he sees that Meredith is deleting them. Tom receives a call from a Malaysian colleague who is able to fax Tom copies of incriminating memos and videos. They show that Meredith and one of the head of operations in Malaysia agreed to change the production specifications that Tom had laid down, without his knowledge, to gain favor with the Malaysian government and to cut costs for the upcoming merger. Because of Meredith's complete lack of technical expertise and knowledge, the production changes ordered by her resulted in the problems afflicting the CD-ROMs that Tom is responsible for. In an attempt to save the merger that she had created and unwilling to take any responsibility, Meredith had set up the sexual encounter between her and Tom to falsely accuse him of sexual harassment to force him out of Digicom so she could blame him for the changes, with Blackburn's support, while covering up the CD-ROM problems from him. When Tom makes his presentation at the conference, Meredith brings up the production problems, but he is now able to publicly show the evidence exposing her direct involvement in causing defects with the hardware. After Meredith angrily accuses Tom of mounting a last-ditch effort of revenge while trying to justify her decisions involving the changes and continuing to blame him for poor decisions, Garvin realizes the full extent of her incompetence and has no other option but to fire her. Garvin subsequently announces that the merger has been completed and then names Stephanie Kaplan to head up the Seattle operation, a decision that Tom is pleased with, especially when she publicly highlights his contributions and says that she is relying on him to be her right-hand man going forward. Tom subsequently asks Stephanie's son, Spencer, if he knows a Friend. Spencer says he is the research assistant to Professor Arthur Friend at the University of Washington. Tom realizes that Spencer had access to Friend's office computer, enabling Stephanie, via her son, to have previously warned him as a friend when he was in trouble, and that she knew exactly everything that was going, involving the CD-ROM drives and Meredith. A gratified Tom is happy to resume his position as the head of the manufacturing. The movie ends here. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos like this. See you again. Until then, stay healthy and blessed.